And we are back. Predictions, NFL Week 10 edition. To quickly recap last week, I ended up going 8-6. Yeah, not my greatest showing. Putting our season total to 98-36-1 on the year. Getting my lock of the week right, though. I picked the Chargers. They won against the Titans. I am now 9-0 in that category. Moving on to Week 10. Quickly going over the bye weeks, we have the Chiefs who are 5-4, the Bengals who are 3-6, the Titans who are 1-8, and the Cowboys who are 3-5-1. All right, starting out, Raiders and Broncos Thursday Night Football, all games in Eastern Time. The Raiders 2-6, coming off of a heartbreaking loss to the Jaguars, where they took it to overtime. On the last play, they decide we're going to go for 2 after scoring a touchdown rather than kicking the extra point to tie it, and they failed. They lose 30-29. The Broncos, on the other hand, they ended up kicking a game-winning field goal against the Texans to win 18-15. They are 7-2. I'm taking the Broncos here. One team has, 2 losses. The other has 2 wins. I mean, one team is doing it right, the other not so much. So, give me the Broncos. Not to mention the Raiders just traded away Jacoby Myers, so I don't know how their receiving room is going to do this game. Moving on to our London game. Or I don't know if it's London, I shouldn't say that. Our international game, we have the Falcons, who are 3-5, and the Colts, who are 7-2. The Falcons, 3-5. They are coming off of a 1-point loss to the Patriots, and where their kicker struggled, they actually ended up cutting him because of it. While the Colts also lost, they were losing big the whole game. Just so many mental mistakes for them. They lost 27-20. The score is a lot closer than, it actually was. It was really bad. The Steelers were up like 24-7 at one point. I'm going to take the Colts. It's the same thing. One team has 2 losses. The other has 3 wins. The Colts are just playing really good football. The 2 teams they have lost to are the Steelers, who have a winning record, and the Rams, who have a winning record. And they've lost by 1 score both times. Meanwhile, the Falcons, granted, yes, they have lost a lot of their games by 1 score. They have actually looked very good in the games they do win. But in the games they lose, they kind of struggle. If it wasn't for Drake London's masterclass last week, they wouldn't have even been in that game. I'm taking the Colts. Browns versus Jets, we got the Tank Bowl. Browns 2-6, they ended up on a bye week, while Jets 1-7 also ended up on a bye week. The key thing to note here is both these teams did trade away players. The Browns traded away Joe Tryon-Shinka for a second-round pick to the Bears, while the Jets traded away a few guys. They acquired a DB from the Colts for a 7th-round pick. They traded away Quinnen Williams for a 1st and a 2nd, and Mozzie Smith. They traded away Sauce Gardner for 2 firsts and A.D. Mitchell. With that being said, I do like the additions the Jets made with, Mozzie Smith, that random DB who they gave up a 7 for. I don't know his name. And A.D. Mitchell, a lot of boomer bust players. I mean, I heard a lot of people say it's like the lottery, all right? I mean, if you do lose, it's fine, but this has a chance to be a big payoff. Not to mention the picks make it worth it regardless. Either way, I'm taking the Browns strictly because the Browns have a better team in my opinion, and with the Jets trading away all their good players for, players who could be something, I mean, even in their first game, I don't think that's going to happen. Give me the Browns. Saints 1-8. They ended up losing to the Rams 34-10, while the Panthers 5-4 ended up beating the Packers 16-13. Give me the Panthers. Right, the Saints have 1 win for a reason. Tyler Shuck does not look good. I think Spencer Rattler was the answer. They elected to just see if they have anything in Tyler Shuck. With that being said, I don't think Spencer Rattler is the answer long term. I think this year he is, though. I need to reemphasize that. Panthers, on the other hand, have actually looked pretty good. I mean, besides that Buffalo blowout, they really turned it around on defense, allowing only 13 points, which is great when you score 16 points. I mean, that was the lowest scoring win of that week, was them scoring 16. I'm taking the Panthers. I'm taking them as my lock of the week as well because, the Saints sucked. If you don't know what lock of the week is, I explain it every week. This will be no exception. Every week, I pick one team and one team only to win their game. The catch is, if you know what the ESPN Eliminator Challenge is, it's that I'm not allowed to pick the same team twice. So, yeah. I can't pick the Panthers anymore. It's like, do I want to use the good teams? Do I want to use the bad teams? So far, I've done good teams. The Panthers are one of those teams where I think they aren't good. I think they're good, not great, I should say. So, this is one I'm not as confident in as well because it's a division game, but I'm going to pick them regardless. By the way, I know I said ESPN Eliminator Challenge. The catch is I can't be eliminated. It's just, it will count as a loss. So, yeah. Next, we have Patriots Buccaneers. Patriots 7-2, Buccaneers 6-2. This should be an amazing game. The Patriots coming off of a win over the Falcons where they won by a single point, but a win is a win. While the Buccaneers are 6-2, they are coming off of a bye week. I'm taking the Buccaneers strictly because they're coming off of a bye week. This is a top-tier team that they're playing. I think they spent their bye week preparing for that. I think they're going to come in very well, ready. Now, with that being said, the Patriots very well could have also played them because they struggled against the Falcons. That could have been them looking ahead against the Buccaneers and just pulling one out. Who knows? I'm taking the Buccaneers, though. I think this should be an amazing game. Another one, Ravens-Vikings, two teams who struggled early on, but, last week looked hot. Ravens, 3-5, coming off a 28-6 win over the Dolphins, while the Vikings, 5-4, coming off of a 27-24 win over the Lions. Important thing to mention is outside, the first drive, the Vikings led, the whole game. So, this was a game that the Vikings dominated. With that being said, I'm taking the Ravens, though. I ultimately think dropping to 4-5 is a lot better than dropping to 3-6, and I think the Ravens are going to know that. So, I think the Ravens are going to win this one, and both teams are going to be at 4-5 after. Bills, Dolphins, we don't really need to talk about this much, but I will anyway. Bills 6-2, coming off of a win. And the Dolphins 2-7, we just talked about, lost to the Ravens. The Bills actually beat the Chiefs, making Mahomes make a lot of mistakes. So this Bills team actually looks really good. Meanwhile, this Dolphins team, they traded away Jalen Phillips for a third-round pick. That was surprisingly the only move they made. I know people were saying, they could have traded away Jalen Waddle or Devon Achane or Bradley Chubb, or Micah Fitzpatrick. In my personal opinion, the only player I would have traded away there is Bradley Chubb, and that was strictly due to his contract. All the other players I think they should have kept, and they do. I'm taking the Bills, though. Giants and Bears. Giants 2-7, lose to the 49ers, where their offense actually looked good. It's just their defense couldn't stop anything. They lost 34-24. While the Bears, 5-3, same thing. Their offense looked good. They won 47-42. Their defense could not stop anything, but they at least picked up the win. I think the Bears are going to win this one. Final 1 o'clock game, we got the Jaguars, who are 5-3, at the Texans, who are 3-5. Jaguars coming off of the win over the Raiders in overtime, while the Texans coming off the game-losing field goal against the Broncos. The key thing to note is C.J. Stroud in that game did end up with a concussion, so I don't know if he's going to play this game. If you're asking me personally, I would say he's probably not. So that's where my pick's going to lie, is he's not playing, so I'm going to take the Jaguars. Next, we have our only 4 o'clock game. We have the Cardinals at 3-5, who just picked up a win over the Cowboys, and the Seahawks, who are 6-2, who have looked like, in my opinion, the best team in the league. Top 3, no question, as they won 38-14 against the Commanders. And with that being said, I think they're a top 3 team in the league. I just said, give me the Seahawks. Sorry, Cardinals. Oops. Bear with me for a moment. Okay, Lions, Commanders. Lions are 5-3. Commanders 3-6. We just talked about the Commanders game where they lost to the Seahawks, while the Lions, they lost 27-24 to the Vikings. I'm taking the Lions. It's Jane Daniels dislocated his elbow or broke it, something to do with his elbow. He is probably going to be out majority, if not the whole season. So yeah, no offense to Marcus Mariota, but I don't think you're beating the Lions out of all teams. So give me the Lions. Rams, 49ers. Rams 6-2, coming off of a win over the Saints. 49ers 6-3, coming off of a win over the Giants. This is a huge one for the division because this is a kind of a three-way battle between the 49ers, Rams, and the Seahawks. I'm personally going to take the Rams here because I do think the Rams are a better team. I know the 49ers did beat them earlier in the year, but I think the Rams are ultimately, they are, building that momentum. They have looked like one of the best teams in the league as well. I think they're going to win this one. I think the 49ers injuries, I know they were able to survive that first game. I think the second game is going to be just a bit too much for them. Give me the Rams. Steelers and Chargers, Sunday Night Football. Steelers 5-3, Chargers 6-3. Both these teams picking up wins. Steelers over the Colts 27-20, while the Chargers win over the Titans 27-20. In one game where the score's close, the Steelers dominated that game until the fourth quarter, where the Colts tried to make a miraculous comeback. And then the Chargers struggled on special teams. I believe the Titans actually scored 2 touchdowns off of special teams. So, the score is inflated there as well. I'm taking the Chargers. The Chargers' division is a lot worse, or better in a worse way. Like the Chiefs and the Broncos, they absolutely need to win these games, and I think they're going to. Meanwhile, the Steelers, they actually have a cushion. They could afford to still lose a game, and they'd still be in first place. So, I'm going to take the Chargers. Monday night, Eagles and Packers. Eagles 6-2, coming off of a bye week, while the Packers 5-1, coming off of a loss to the Panthers. Here's my personal take on this game. Green Bay is going to win this game. And I know you're like, wow, that's crazy. You're picking against the Eagles. I think potentially the Packers were looking ahead. And they thought, the Panthers are going to be an easy win. We're way better. Looked ahead and lost. I think the Eagles, I think the Eagles are probably going to win this game, but I'm a Packers fan. I'm going to pick the Packers. The Eagles are coming off the bye week. They've had the whole week to prepare for this. They ended up at the trade line getting like Jaden Phillips. They've made some moves. So, yeah. I do think Jair Alexander as well. I do think Green Bay is probably going to lose, but I'm going to pick them because, it's my favorite team. I'm confident in them. They seem to play to their competition, so even if they lose, they're probably going to be close. So, with that being said, give me Green Bay. And that is the teams. To quickly recap, I have the Broncos, Colts, Browns, Panthers, Buccaneers, Ravens, Bills, Bears, Jaguars, Seahawks, Lions, Rams, Chargers, and Packers all winning. And then the Chiefs, Bengals, Titans, and Cowboys on a bye week. If I did not say your team, it means they are losing their game. Sorry. With the Panthers being the lock of the week as well. To quickly go over the playoff picture, no teams have been eliminated or have clinched a spot. However, I have started now putting in the notes about, who are the first teams up after the halfway point. The 1 seeds are the Colts and Eagles at 7-2 and 6-2. 2 seeds being the Patriots and Buccaneers at 7-2 and 6-2. The 7 seeds who would play the 2 seeds are Jaguars and Lions, both sharing a 5-3 record. 3 seeds are the Broncos and Seahawks at 7-2 and 6-2. The 6 seeds who play the 3 seeds are the Chargers and 49ers, both at 6-3. The 4 seeds being the Steelers at 5-3 and Packers at 5-2-1. And then the 5 seeds who play the 4 seeds are the Bills and Rams, both at 6-2. The first teams who would be eliminated, basically teams who are right there on the cusp. The Jets, they are 1-7. The Dolphins are 2-7. The Titans are 1-8. The Giants, who are 2-7. They are, the first teams who would be those guys who are chopped. Now, with that being said, the Giants still have a bit more room because the NFC, for some reason, have had more bye weeks than the AFC. They still haven't played, that 9th game. Meanwhile, these teams, a lot of these teams in the AFC are 7-2 with, the best season for a team like the Jets or the Dolphins would be 10-7. The Titans 9-8. While, the worst teams for these teams like the Patriots and the Colts would be 7-10. So they're getting really close. We're probably talking 2 weeks of, wins for the good teams, losses for the bad teams, for them not to be eliminated per se, but to not get the 1 seed. So yeah, that's very scary for them. But that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.